Uganda here, well managed, can be an interesting reference point for the rest of Africa and for the rest of the black people, because here you have got people who are really partly original in culture, who have not changed so much. So because of that, if we handle it well, like I think we have been trying, we can have a good synthesis: Christianity, Islam, with the positive aspects of the African tradition, of the African heritage. Because, like, for instance, the culture here, like if you take marriage, these are exogamous. You marry outside your clan. You cannot marry within your clan. It is taboo. Now, that's scientific. It is to avoid inbreeding. So, why would anybody want to change this? To say, because now in Europe, you say love on first sight. That you are moving around, you saw somebody, and your legs shook, and you fell in love. Now here, we don't accept that. We don't accept that concept of love first sight, because have you checked her clan? What if she's from your clan? So that's where really, for me, I am a synthesizer, Christianity with tradition. This is just one example. I'm giving you the example of marriage. Are we going to be endogamous? Because you remember, the exogamous is when you marry outside your... So if you don't respect that, what are you saying? Are we going to be endogamous? Because endogamous means I can marry my relative, I can marry... This one I don't agree. I really don't agree. I don't think it is correct. I think the other one ours is correct. Then you come to, of course, there were things which can be phased out. The fact that the societies were patrilineal through the father, through the man, not matrilineal. I think that one can be, that's why we need really a serious group of theologians who study both the Christianity and the tradition. The reason why these tribes here were patrilineal was because of insecurity. Because there was a lot of fighting of the tribes, fighting. And for fighting, you needed the men to fight. So, and yet were exogamous. So my sister would not be married in my clan. She would have to go to the other clan. So, but the problem is that what if we fight with that clan tomorrow? So, you girl, you go, but don't take our cows. Because we don't want to overstrengthen the other clan, because you never know. So, but, so that's why, I think that's why the patrilineal was, there was that issue of contradiction. You are exogamous, the girls must go away. They can't stay here in the clan. but we don't have a very strong central government to regulate the clans. So what if we fight with the other clan tomorrow? I think these were the... so that's why I was telling my father when he was alive, because he was saying I should get bride price for my girls. I said, no, my girls, I will not get cows from them. They will go with cows from me. I will actually escort them with the cows. But you need to understand their logic, the logic of the other people. Don't come and dismiss it. It's not. It was not so simple. Because they were dealing with so many things. They're dealing with governance. So therefore, I'm really very happy who are involved with the political struggles. And at that time, we didn't agree with some of I was a member of the Scripture Union. I was president for 4 years. Actually, I was very active for 6 years, 1961 to 1966. But then we disagreed with the Scripture Union people on a number of issues. Number one was Matthew chapter 5. The Sermon on the Mount. When somebody hits you on the left, you turn the right. We said no. Actually, that's when I walked out of the Scripture Union. 1965. We were having a conference at Muiri. And that's when Ian Smith, the man of Rhodesia, the white man, that's when he declared independence. What they were calling UDI, Unilateral Declaration of Independence. So we had white organizers. Mr. Taylor
yes,
was our secretary. So I said, as Christians who are fighting for justice, I propose that we condemn Ian Smith. They said, no, Museveni, you are becoming worldly. You are becoming worldly. You are backsliding. You should leave these matters to God. We Christians, we should just pray. I said, no. Mr. Taylor, when Jesus found people sitting in the Yekaru, he was violent and he overturned the tables. And there's no record that he paid compensation. So I said, no, I don't agree with that. So that was one issue. The question was, should Christians be violent? And we were saying, yes, if we are fighting for justice. That was where we disagreed. Because these missionaries were preaching pacifism. Pacifism in the face of oppression. And in a way, preaching like withdraw, those are issues of the world. For us, we leave them to God. So that was one issue. And then the other issue was this one of course, even that time there was even the issue of church music. They were not allowing African music in the church. The tunes. Even that, it was, I quarreled with my mother because my mother was in Mlokole. So when I would try to sing traditional songs, those are kafiri, pagan. Those are pagan. I said, what? I couldn't agree. Then, of course, we had the issue of work. Look at the birds of the air. They neither sow nor harvest, but God feeds them. Even when we were fighting, we were able to synthesize the religious and the traditional. The good, you can audit the good practices, and really that's how we built this movement. The political movement has got all those elements, the good elements of tradition, the good elements of Christianity. So when we took government, took power, we were very confident. That's why, for instance, the Americans came here, and the British, and these Western countries, and they said, we want to help you build your army. We said, but we have already built the army. That's how we defeated the government. So we don't want to be over-involved with you people. We can share some experience. That's all. So that's why you find that we don't have foreign bases here, foreign armies here, based in Uganda, because we didn't need them. We said, foreign armies, what? We can defend ourselves. We don't need anything from anybody. If we need knowledge, we can come and learn and come back. And then we had, of course, they normally, when you hear these African countries getting problems, Niger, this one, Burkina Faso, Mali, Central African Republic, they get problems because of that over-involvement with foreigners in the issue of security. So you can take one example. There's what they call SOFA. SOFA, S-O-F-A, means Status of Forces Agreement. If foreign forces are in Uganda, how should they be handled? So the Americans and the British brought their SOFA to me. Say, when our forces are here, if they make a mistake, they should not be tried here. They should be tried in the US. Why? Then I said, okay, can we make it reciprocal? So that if our own people are in the US, they make a mistake, they are brought back here. I said, no. So I said, Then even at one time, I was trying to compromise with them. I said, okay, I can, if somebody fights in the bar, I don't mind, you can take him and try him in California. But what if he kills a Ugandan? Or rapes a Ugandan girl? There's no way we can say that you take him away to be tried somewhere else. There's no way. So they said, no, but you see other countries are doing it. I said, if other countries are doing it, that's their business. But not us. So we have never signed a single SOFA with anybody in all the time we've been here. So they just come and go, we refused. So now that business of Africans can do everything. We can do it ourselves. We don't need, is really our line here. And that's why you find that there is peace in the country. And here, for the people who are coming from the US, here we are struggling with the four principles. Principle number one, we rejected the politics of identity. The politics of religion, of tribes, because we said all these people, even if they have got different identities, but they have got similar needs. So why do you talk about identity and you don't talk about their needs? Hunger, poverty, disease, underdevelopment. Why don't you talk about that? Why do you talk about identity? And I like to give the example of my tribe, because my tribe, these people know it. They are cattle keepers. They are people of cows. Now, when you examine them, the question is, how can my tribe be prosperous? The only way they can be prosperous is to sell what they produce. And what do they produce? They produce milk, they produce beef, they produce bananas. But when you study carefully, they don't buy from one another. A will not buy from B, and B will not buy from A. Why? Because they are producing similar products. I have milk, my neighbor has milk. He can't buy from me, I can't buy from him. I have beef, he has got beef. I've got bananas, he has got... So really, the people who help my tribe to be prosperous are the other tribes of Uganda. The ones who don't have what we have. So when I come and talk my tribe, I emphasize my tribe instead of emphasizing Uganda. I am actually an enemy of Uganda, of my tribe first. Because if Uganda was not stable, there is no way my tribe would be prosperous. Because the people who make my tribe prosperous are the other Ugandans. So that's why we say, principle number one of our ideology, love Uganda. Why do you love Uganda? Because you need it. It is the one which will help you to get out of your problems. And then we say, but when we really wake up and start producing a lot, you'll find that even the internal market of Uganda is not enough. And these people know it now. They know that maize, we are producing so much, the internal market is not enough. So that's why we need the East African market. That's why yesterday you heard us singing two anthems, the one of Uganda and the one of East Africa. Because for us to be prosperous, we need the Ugandan market, we need the East African market, we need the African market. So that's why we say, second principle, Pan-Africanism. Patriotism, love Uganda. Pan-Africanism, love Africa. Why? Because you need it for your prosperity. And if you want to see why that is important, you go to South America. I was watching the TV. If you see the people who are coming from South America, going to the US, fleeing poverty in South America, and yet South America is very rich in terms of natural resources. After South America is richer than the United States. They have got more water, the Amazon, more forests, more minerals. All those countries have a lot of minerals. Chile, they have a lot. Brazil. But the way they are organized politically and economically, you can't succeed there because the market is fragmented. Guatemala, I don't know what, Honduras, all those little countries. There's no way you can succeed business-wise there. Haiti, what have you. So I always challenge these people and say, you people, do you want to build a Latin America in Africa or a United States of Africa in Africa? So that's why we insist on Pan-Africanism. And then we add other principles, socio-economic transformation, modernization, education, and so on. Like, for instance, now we have got this little battle with homosexuals. Because the foreigners overestimate themselves and underestimate us. They think that, and they are making a mistake because you are all young people, I can see you. Even this one is not so old. This is the, how old are you? 70 what? Young boy. These people who underestimate Africa, they make a very big mistake. In 1963, and this is where I've got a lot of advantage over you people. Because what you call history, I call current affairs. Because like 1963, when they formed the Organization of African Unity, I was 19 years old. I was following everything. And I was in standard 11 in the school system. So when they went to Addis Ababa, at that time, only 36 countries of Africa were independent, which means another 20 were still under colonialism. Now, when they got there, our leaders, Nkrumah, Nyerere, Nasser, they passed a resolution saying that the whole of Africa must get political independence peacefully. But if necessary, we shall use force. Now, the foreigners who don't know Africa much say, what can Africans do? How will they fight? They're just talking. But by 1962, our people in Mozambique had started the armed struggle. Frelimo, the one of Mozambique, had started they had formed the organization, they had not started fighting. They had formed Frelimo in 1962. They started fighting in 1964. Then Angola, the MPLA. Then Zimbabwe. And by 1974, the African freedom fighters defeated by military means the Portuguese empire. Actually, it collapsed. It was brought down by the African freedom fighters, whom they were just dismissing. Then 1980, we defeated Ian Smith. Then 1990, Namibia got independence, and eventually South Africa. This was done by Africa. Africa, supported by the Eastern countries, China and Soviet Union. And some of the Western countries, some of the groups, the social democrats, like the ones of Sweden and so on. So therefore, Africa has got a big potential. And now our people were provoked to take a stand on the homosexuals. Because we have been polite, we don't talk, but these people come here and go into the schools, go here, you tell them, please, leave us alone. If you think homosexuality is all right, you go and do it in your country. But here we don't talk. But here we are not convinced about what you are saying. We think you are wrong. We are not coming to preach to you what to do, but please leave us alone. They don't listen. They are really sick. Because somebody who doesn't know where to stop, it can't be a normal person. Because we Africans, you shouldn't go beyond here. The owner of the home will cut you. So when they really became provocative, that's when we took a position. And they, money, what? Money, we have got everything here. We don't need anything from you. So when I had now for instance, if you take the textile sector, we have got a good textile sector which is coming up. Textiles, cloth, because we have got good cotton, and we are making it into fabric and garments. And we had got orders from the United States for textiles. Then now, some of those companies canceled the orders. The good thing is that this is not the government doing it, the government of the US. Because I think the government is a bit wiser. They know who we are, and they know that those games don't play with us. So I was wondering, our Christian contacts in the US, how we can solve this problem if the chains which we are going to sell our textiles have cancelled, because these are company to company. They are the ones who have cancelled the orders. Now when they cancelled, here these Africans had deteriorated. I must accuse you African people here. They had deteriorated. They were putting on second-hand clothes, which are dead people's clothes. When people die in the US, their clothes are brought here. So what I'm going to do is to ban the second-hand clothes which I've already done, and we shall buy our people here will buy the clothes from the factories. But I also want to check with our Christian ally brothers and sisters and our African American people. Will the homosexuals stop you from buying our clothes or what? So if they will not stop you, then what do we do?